Well, hi, y'all. This is Sandy with Appreciating Autoimmunity. So, welcome. This is my first video going up, but we're gonna get this right. And I want you to know when I say appreciating autoimmunity, yeah, it's an oxymoron. It's meant to be. And if you think I'm crazy and you're thinking, what is that girl talking about? She doesn't know what she's saying. Appreciating autoimmunity. If you know what autoimmunity is, you wouldn't appreciate it. No way. Well, guess what? I do, and I've got autoimmunity. So I'm Sandy Lee, and I'm coming at you here from a view of wanting to teach you that you can appreciate autoimmunity once you get to the level where I've been at. And I want to share that with you. So I'd like to give you a little bit of my story. And for now, we'll try to keep it a little bit short because I know I'm new and not to everybody, but to a lot of you. And I want you to understand where I'm coming from. So I'll give you a little bit of my story. I am 50, just turned 50 last year in April. And I'm proud because I never thought I would even make it to 50. So I did, and I'm so excited about it. I feel like I have a new lot on life, and it's got me pumped. So anyway, I started out with endometriosis when I was young, like in my early teens, but we didn't quite know it at that time. And then I developed lupus, so systemic lupus erythematosus, which is in the blood. And it particularly affected my kidneys. So I dealt with that. Then I had a total of 53 major surgeries in my life. And I've had a spinal cord injury where I was paralyzed from the waist down. I have another disorder. It's called antiphospholipid syndrome, and it's a secondary condition from lupus where I clot too easily, and so I had blood clots all throughout my life. I dealt with migraines as a young child, was very, very sick with infections, kidney infections, urinary tract infections. And those surgeries led me down a path where I lost a lot of my organs. So I lost my female parts, I lost my appendix, small bowel and large bowel, not all of it, but a large amount. Then I lost my bladder, and things just kind of went downhill. They spiraled out of control, because the disease process was taking over and nobody knew what to do. It was all very new. Endometriosis in the early 80s was just not known very well, and lupus was just starting to be learned about in the 90s, and I was diagnosed with it in 96. So I was told that I most likely would never be able to have children. And luckily, I had met my husband. He's my ex-husband now, but early in high school. So we were high school sweethearts, and we had decided, even after going to college, I went to college to be a nurse, but that didn't work out for me because of my health issues. So we decided that we better get trying to have a child because we really wanted to be parents, and I for surely wanted to be a mom. So anyway, we went through all the chaos of infertility treatments, and I was very, very, very blessed to get pregnant with my first son. And then we quickly got at it again right away because my health issues were not getting any better. And we had my second son, and I had I lost a couple babies along the way, and that was stressful, and it wasn't fun. And I suffered a lot. I suffered with a lot of pain, a lot of exhaustion, um, depression, anxiety. It wasn't fun at all. It wasn't nice. And anybody that knows what it's like to have an illness or disease, it sucks, to be honest, okay? So, what I wanted to do is once I got to the point where I had my spinal cord injury, and even then, I was I was very very ill, and they did not think I was going to make it, let alone walk. And I got meningitis after my spinal cord injury because, of course, they had to do spinal surgery to. I had a bleed in my spine, and I also had a brain bleed, and they had to go in and remove the pressure from the spinal column. It's called a laminectomy. So I'm very strong-willed, and I have been from the day I was born. My mom can tell you that, and she'll say it's probably what got me through all of this today. So I was on a mission. I was going to walk again. I was going to get my health back, and I was going to figure this out on my own. I, throughout my life, had already taken on that attitude where positivity is what gets you through. The only way you're going to get through death knocking at your door. Sorry, my hair is kind of falling in my view here. When death's knocking at your door, you get very close to God, and you pray, and you become an advocate for your own self. You learn about what you're going through. You learn about the disease processes. You work with your doctors as a team, and you certainly have to find doctors that are willing to work with you as a team, because if you can't get a doctor that's going to work with you, then there's an issue right there. So that was a big step for me, is to find doctors that knew what they were doing and knew that they liked my approach, they liked my personality, and they liked the positive factor that I carried at the time. Now, I was not as positive as I am now, but I was in a learning curve, okay? So I will say that I dug into the books, and I tried to find out everything that I could with what I was going through. I asked a lot of questions with my specialists, and let me tell you, I've had specialists in every area of my body. So I've had hematologists, neurologists, endocrinologists, gynecologist, obstetrician, let me see, urology. My urologist, Dr. Leslie Carr. Hi, how are you? She's awesome, and she's part reason, really, why I'm still alive, because she never gave up on me. And I had a pain specialist, Dr. Arsenio Avila, and I say hi to you, and I say hi to Jason Sawyer, who was a nurse practitioner, and he was along by my side along the way through a lot of trials and tribulations, and he really helped me out. He really did. So anyway, where I'm going through with this right now is letting you know that when I got my spinal cord injury, I had to go to spinal cord rehab, and I spent a total of 7.5 months in the hospital, and part of that was two and a half months in spinal cord rehab, and I worked my butt off. Now, earlier in life, I was a figure skater, and I coached, and I really enjoyed my figure skating, and I do give that a lot of credit because I think that really helped my mindset as far as recovering and being able to get my legs back, because I knew I had the mindset of an athlete, and I went in saying, I'm not stopping until I walk out. And that's what I literally did. I worked every day. I had physio. I did hydrotherapy where we did our physio in the pool, hydration or hydrotherapy pool. Um, the specifics on all of that are a little bit murky because it was such a rotten time. But I did. I fought really, really hard, and I got through a lot. I spent I spent time thinking, you know, my life was never going to change unless I took on this approach. So I did. And anyway, then once I was home and I was rehabilitated back into the world, I went back into my home, which had a lot of stairs. And for me, stairs were a hindrance for me because I still have an injury. It's not gone. It's definitely there. I feel it. Dry mouth, sorry. So I was living in my home and it had a lot of stairs, and that was a hindrance for me. So I had to find a new place to live. I had to find a home that didn't have stairs. So I ended up coming into a new apartment. And once I got settled in here and I had more confidence and I was happy with myself, I took on a really different approach in my life. I did a lot of docuseries, and I learned about your gut health, and I learned about, well, let's go back to, I met a woman, a wonderful woman who's a very good friend of mine, Melissa Kelly, and she was a distributor for Young Living, and that was an essential oil company. And I learned everything I could about it because she introduced me to the oils, and I quickly learned that you can use the essential oils as your medicine instead of your synthetic big pharma meds. And at the time, I was on 26 medications, and that's just ridiculous. I was on pain medications, I was on lupus medications, anti-inflammatories, blood thinners, you name it, I was on it. I was always on so much stuff. And I didn't have a clear mind. I couldn't think clear. I couldn't do very much. Next video, guys, I'm going to pin my hair back or something. Here, let's do this. So, anyway, I got to stop saying too. So you can comment on that later because I know I do it. But I decided that I was going to take that route and start getting off my medications. So I started using the essential oils for what they are used for. And if any of you don't know anything about essential oils, well, essential oils are virtually what all of our pharmaceutical medications are based on. They're the God-given plant-based, grown through the earth products out there that they cold press. The way they distill them to get the oils is different for each thing, but every oil has a different use, a different purpose. And so I just started applying them, and we'll get into more of that later, because I do want to share with you how the oils affected my life. So right now, I just want to introduce you and kind of give you this background of who I am and what I've come from and why I'm here today and why I want you to understand what it is I'm doing and saying, appreciating autoimmunity. So I was using the essential oils and virtually got off of 26 medications. Now, I'm still on a couple ones that I have to just take care of myself and do it slowly. Then I started doing or working with a team out of the United States who taught me all about my gut health. And I knew that my gut health was rotten because I'd lost a lot of my small and large intestine. and I didn't digest things. I wasn't absorbing foods. I wasn't absorbing medications orally. A lot of my medications had to be given by injection or IV, and that was awful, in itself. So I had to get my gut health healthy first, because your immune system is actually in your gut. Not everybody knows that, but that's where it lies. And Hippocrates had it right when he said, if you heal thy gut will take care of you. And he was right, because all of our disease processes are through our gut. So, well, guess what? As I was healing my gut, things started to really improve. And then I got onto a pattern where I learned about my cellular level of my anatomy, and I started working with that as well. So I can get into that more, and I plan on it, but I want you to know that being told that you have a chronic disease and that there is no cure doesn't mean that you have to suffer forever and that you have a life sentence, because you don't. If you do the right things and you learn the right methods and you listen to the right people, first of all, I will admit I'm not a doctor. I'm not even a nurse, although I wish I was, but I'm not. I'm just very experienced through all of the trials that I've been through with my health. And because I ask so many questions and I work together with my specialists along the way, I became very knowledgeable. And I also learned because I put myself to the books. And not always Dr. Google, okay? I meant really into the books. I did a lot of docuseries with specialists who worked in certain areas and got a lot of knowledge that way. But really, I got it from applying these things that I learned to myself, and really gained trust in certain individuals. And a lot of them are doctors, or nutritionists, functional doctors. There's chiropractors, massage therapists. There's a whole ton of people. And I'd love to list those with you too down the road. But right now, I want you to know, just take it from me, you can get better and you will get better. I want you to look at appreciating autoimmunity as that it's not a life sentence. It's a disease, and it's something you have, but you can deal with it, and you can get better. And I'm living proof of that. I have a huge testimony, and my testimony is so long. It's going to take lots of videos to get there, but we'll do this together, and I want you to just know that you can trust me, and you can ask me questions, ask me whatever you would like, and I will do whatever I can to help you. If I don't know the answers, I will research and I will ask the people that I do know, and I will find those answers out for you. But I want to build a community here where we can talk about these things and not be afraid of the conditions that are labeled on us, because that is a very scary life to live, and nobody needs to go through that alone, number one. And number two, I still get a dry mouth to this day, and that is from my autoimmunity issues. But I drink a lot of water, and I'll tell any of you out there, if you're not drinking water, you're doing yourself an injustice. You need to drink water. We are a large part of our body. I think it's like 75% of our body is water. So we need to drink water because we just do. And it also helps our skin, okay? And I used to have terrible skin because of my lupus. and it's healing. Things are getting so much better. My hair is so much better. It used to be really, really, really thin, falling out in clumps. Not anymore. Nope, the things that I'm doing are the right things, and you can certainly see the difference from where I used to be. One of these days I will get the guts, and I'll take you back, and I'll put up some old videos of where I was to where I am now so that you can see. But for the moment, I want you to gain trust in me. So again, you know, I'm Sandy Lee, and I'm here to help you. So I'm not an expert. I'm not a perfect person. I'm just trying to do my best in this world, and I have a heart that cares, and I have a passion to teach you what I've learned. So with that, ask me whatever you would like. Any naysayers out there, you know, throw out your comments, whatever it has to be, because I understand they're out there. But how about we work together? That's where I'd like to start off from. And I would just like to say, let's appreciate autoimmunity together, and let's heal, and let's be proud, okay? So from this moment, I'm going to nod off here, and I'm going to say, love God, love your body, appreciate who you are, and don't worry about those labels, because they're just labels. That's what they are. Think positive, and I like to say, live in the solution, not the problem, and love life strong. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you on my next video. Okay? Have a great night, or a great afternoon, or a great morning, wherever you are. Alrighty? Take care. Bye.